Hello everybody. Today my review is going to be about this Filofax Domino A4 Organiser. Dominoes come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. Dominoes that look like this are still on sale, but I can't find any A4 dominoes for sale, so I guess they are no longer available. I bought this one many years ago, and as you listen to all my criticisms, you'll begin to wonder why I bought it, because there are so many things that I don't like about it. But I don't know why I bought it either, honestly, but it has proved to be a really useful addition to my collection, so I'll show you what it is and what it does. It's A4, it's for A4 paper, so here's an A4 sheet. You can see it's obviously a bit larger than an A4 piece of paper. It is black, it's faux leather, and it has grey stitching and this grey elastic. The cover is hard. It's like a good stiff cardboard. You can see you can't bend it. It's like the cover you'd find on a plastic A4 folder, a little bit harder actually, and it's tough. I have mistreated this for years. Mine sits next to the desk here to my left, against the table leg. It gets kicked, it gets scuffed, it gets bashed by the vacuum cleaner, it gets scratched by the cats. I grab it when I need it, open it, look something up, throw it back onto the floor, yet it is still holding up very well. So it's tough, it's well made. Being faux leather, it does show the scratches, it does show the dirt. It shows the white core of the material where it flakes away. So for example, you see here on the back edge, you see here how the material has flaked here. So you can see the white core of the product. But all things considered, and because I use these things to use and not to show, its condition remains remarkably good. It is 32.6 centimeters tall, 25 centimeters wide, and around 4 centimeters thick. The covers, let's have a look at the cover first. Two things I dislike intensely. Again, you'll wonder, why did I buy this? First thing is the elastic closure. It's a personal thing, but the only place I want to see elastic on an organizer is on the pen loop. I don't like how elastic looks. I don't like how things like this flop around when they're not when you undo them. I just find it really ugly. But of course it's useful, and this is to be used, so I don't look at it too much. I can live with this. The cover contains grooves along the front and also on the sides here, little notch for the elastic to sit. Second thing I dislike on the outside are the rivets on the spine. There we go. I do not like seeing rivets on the back of organisers, which does preclude me from ever buying some brands where all of their products have rivets at the back. In this case, at least they're black, so they blend in. So again, I don't know why. I guess I didn't buy it for its looks, but personally, I don't like that at all. So otherwise, as I said, this is black. There's a Filofax logo embossed here, and there is the Filofax name embossed quite small on the back. If we take a look inside, there's another set of things I don't like, but we'll get to those. As you can see, coffee stains, pencil. I haven't treated this very well, but it's lasted well, all things considered. Okay, inside left, there's a pen loop. Now, Filofax and pen loops do not mix. Filofax, for some reason, just can't get it right. Because the pen loop is 0.5 centimeter offset from the edge, it's huge. It's a huge pen loop. If I try a pen like this, this is a normal fountain pen, this is 8 millimeters thick, no chance. I mean, absolutely no chance. If I take a pen which is 1 centimeter in diameter, again, it's just so loose, no chance at all. It was only when I got to a pen this size, I mean, like a board marker, which is 1.6 millimeters in diameter, that it actually started to be worthwhile to actually sit in this loop. Now, I think the reason they make it so huge is because you cannot close the organizer with a pen in it, because it clashes completely with the position of the paper, as you can see here. So the pen has to sit outside, and when it sits outside, because it is offset from the edge, it tightens the pen loop, but it still doesn't tighten it enough for using ordinary pens. So this is 1.4. If I put this 1 centimeter pen back in, it's still quite loose. If I put a Safari in here, which is 1.2, a Lamy Safari, 1.2 millimeters in diameter, still it's not very secure. It's quite loose. So why they chose such a ridiculously huge pen loop, I have no idea. Obviously I don't use these pen loops because they're pointless. As for this size is just pointless. Okay, so pen loop, which I ignore. Next to it, writing Filofax Domino A4 Organiser. There are 4 slots for pens, for cards. 4 slots for cards here, slightly diagonal, slightly sloping. And then there are 2 of these larger slots, which is another criticism, because if you are going to have a slot which is designed to hold information, you've got this little network, this lattice in front, so that you can see maybe your name, your business card, whatever you want to put in there. It has to sit snugly. And this card, any standard card, because this pocket goes all the way to the edge for a reason that I do not understand, anything you put in there slips down. So in order to use that, you would have to put in a non-standard piece of whatever, card, paper, which covered this whole area so that you could see what's in here. Same applies to this pocket, it goes all the way to the edge. So it may be useful, but why you'd want to be losing things into this corner, I don't really know. I think it's just a bit of poor design. Filofax are not always good in their designs, let's be honest. So yeah, not ideal. Then we have a slit here, which is quite large and useful. Slit here, same. And then we have a top to bottom pocket here, which has a black nylon lining. As the slits face inwards, this does allow the organizer to be used reversed. So this is a good organizer for left-handed people. The rings are, let me just scan to this. Okay, the rings are 26 millimeter internal diameter with a standard 4-hole punch spacing. At the back, we have a top to bottom pocket. And we have in that pocket, going into that pocket, we have a slit at the top and a slit at the bottom for an A4 pad, to hold an A4 pad. Now I guess this slit at the bottom is so that you can reverse the organizer. So if I wanted to use, if I was left-handed and I wanted to use the organizer this way around, I could put the A4 into here. I could use the pad this way, and because all of the pockets face inwards, the only real issue here is that the writing now becomes upside down and the logos become upside down. But it is a reversible organizer, so you can use this in reverse. And at the back we also have another pen loop, so a 2-pen loop, but the pen loop again with such ridiculous proportions that, yeah, having 2 would be great, but having 2 which were normally sized would be even better. It lies perfectly flat, as you can see. You can't fold it back on itself. It's not designed for that. It would break the rivets which hold the rings in place, so you can't do that. But it lies, as you can see, absolutely perfectly flat, and it lies open. Now, I use this for daily lists that I need to access incidentally, but often. For example, procedures that I have to run, country codes. I use a lot of codes in my work, so country codes, language codes, ASCII codes. I can grab these codes, and here is some language codes, there are some ASCII codes. So it sits next to my desk, I can grab it, I can just look up the code, I close it, I throw it back on the floor. So it's useful for me. It's not well designed, it's not pretty, but I have found it very useful. Not very expensive when I bought it, so because it's not real leather, so and it's proved itself to be very tough. So not perfect, but good for some purposes. That's the Filofax A4 Domino. See you next time.